Okay then, so the dust has settled after that horrific 1-1 draw against Bournemouth, reminiscent of so many games this season. Sound like a broken record, keep going on and on about these draws that we've had this season. And the question really is, are we too reliant on Zlatan Ibrahimovic? He's got a lot of hate on Twitter yesterday after his poor performance, but he was nowhere near the only player who performed poorly yesterday. Now, yes, his conversion rate this season hasn't been great, but he still scored 26 goals in all competitions. And personally, I don't believe that Manchester United should have been reliant so heavily on a 35-year-old to score that amount of goals this season. Yes, it was a great addition to bring into Manchester United's squad. I admit that. And I said at the start of the season, if he got 15 to 17 league goals, plus 25 goals in all competitions, I'll be delighted with that. I was really hoping that some of the other players this season would take the goal burden off Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I thought that Martial could hit around 15 to 20 goals in all competitions, which just hasn't materialised so far this season. He was in really poor form at the start of the season, and I did tweet out yesterday that he's done jack shit all season. Now, yes, I do believe he has been poor at times this season. Yes, he has got better lately, but I really do feel for the price tag we paid for him, he needs to really start stepping up to the mark now coming to the business end of the season. Otherwise, we're going to struggle to get top four because no one else really is taking that goal burden of Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And partly, I believe, I put the blame partly on Louis van Gaal and David Moyes for this because, well, mainly Louis van Gaal, because if you look at the past couple of transfer windows, we've got rid of a lot of our striking options. You're looking at Danny Welbeck, Radamel Falcao, Robin van Persie and Javier Hernandez, and they haven't been replaced. You're looking at only Zlatan Ibrahimovic is coming in the summer, and before that Anthony Martial come in and Angel Di Maria come in the full sort of the attacking positions. Angel Di Maria also being moved on before Jose Mourinho even come in to the club. So Louis van Gaal left Manchester United way too thin in attack, and it takes time for Jose Mourinho obviously to bring in a lot more attacking options. He probably thought that the attacking options he had were better than they actually are, and we don't have that 10 to 15 goal a season man besides Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I look around the Premier League at the top teams, Diego Costa, and then the next player is Eden Hazard, and then they've got Pedro as well. All three of them are probably going to hit over 15 goals this season. Then you're looking at Tottenham, two of their players are going to hit at least 20 goals this season in Dele Alli and Harry Kane. So, and even Arsenal have got Alexis Sanchez, and they've got Theo Walcott and probably Olivier Giroud. They're all going to hit at least 10, probably 15 goals each this season. And Manchester United just do not have that at this moment in time. I was looking at that bench yesterday, the players we were bringing on. Marouane Fellaini isn't really much of a goal threat. Yes, he's a big presence in the box for the last 5 or 10 minutes. You bring on Jesse Lingard, who, yes, will score some goals, but all the goals that Jesse Lingard will pretty much mainly score have been screamers for Manchester United, volleys or stuff like that. He never gets enough tap-ins, which I think is one of the reasons why a lot of fans have criticised him over the years for his lack of that. Now, I think it is harsh that he has got maybe too much criticism, but he probably does need to get a few more tap-ins to take him to that 10 to 15 goal a season man. And you're looking at Marcus Rashford, hasn't scored a Premier League goal in ages, only scored a few against bottom championship sides in the FA Cup lately. Obviously he's only young, but we can't be too reliant on these players. So really the main players that need to probably step up to the mark are Paul Pogba, Wayne Rooney and Anthony Martial. If one of them three could at least... Now Paul Pogba's probably not going to score many goals for Manchester United. Obviously he's a midfield player. He is a bit like Jesse Lingard, will have shots from distance, and now and again one will fly in the top corner. I can't at this moment in time see Paul Pogba being a regular 15, 20 goal a season man for Manchester United. Maybe he will prove me wrong, but at this moment in time I don't see him really getting the tap-ins which will take his game to the 10, 15 goal a season, certainly in the Premier League anyway. Maybe in all competitions in a few years when he's in his pomp, but you know, really the likes of Wayne Rooney and Martial have really got to step up to the plate between now and the end of the season to take that goal burden off Zlatan if we are to get in the top four. Now, obviously Zlatan could be banned for 3 games, which would be a massive blow. And where do we go from here if he is banned? Now, I think we're going to have to go for Marcus Rashford as the leading striker. Hopefully his pace can cause a lot of these teams problems. Obviously we've got Chelsea up next in the FA Cup after that game in the Europa League, but hopefully his pace can cause Chelsea some problems. And then we're going to have another 2 league games probably without Zlatan as well. So it is going to be difficult because Zlatan has played the majority of the football and as the leading striker. Now, we don't obviously know if Rashford could have been capable of getting, say, 10, 15 league goals this season had he played in the striking position. But, you know, I think it wasn't really a fluke last season, but all the shots that he was taking were going into the net last season. That was never going to continue into this season. His conversion ratio was up there with Lionel Messi, probably better than Lionel Messi last season. And over a long period of time, that was going to obviously tail off a bit. Now, in the future, yes, I think he's a great prospect for Manchester United, but now it is a bit worrying that we may have to go into these business games towards the end of the season without Zlatan Ibrahimovic, because at least we know that Zlatan, although not converting a lot of chances, is still getting enough chances that he will convert some at some point. But hopefully someone can step up to the plate. Hopefully it can be Martial, because I do feel he has the most potential out of them strikers, which is a bit frustrating, which was why I'm a bit annoyed. I got a bit frustrated on Twitter with him that he hasn't maybe stepped up to plate enough this season. Obviously scored 17 goals last season, but was the main man last season, and has only got 7 so far this season. And to match that 17 goal haul this season is going to be a tall ask now, but hopefully he can be that man between now and the end of the season. Although Wayne Rooney wasn't too bad yesterday against Bournemouth, but probably could have had a goal himself in that game. The first half, really, we should have put them to the sword, which is disappointing. Too many chances there missed. But anyway, hopefully someone can start converting the chances, because I believe it has been poor finishing that has cost Manchester United. A lot of people are saying, well, why is every goalkeeper turning into Manuel Neuer when they play against Manchester United at Old Trafford? Good shooting, good shots will fly into that net. No goalkeeper is saving good quality strikes in this Premier League. So it is poor finishing for me. No goalkeeper. If you put that ball in the right place, that ball will go in the back of the net. No goalkeeper is saving great shots. So it is poor finishing for me. Okay, on the odd day, a goalkeeper can have a blinder, but this is happening too often. It is poor finishing, and we've got to sort this out between now and the end of the season. All these draws are going to come back and haunt us. But we've got to wait and see what happens in this Europa League as well, because although there's some tough teams in it, that could end up being, if we get to the latter stages, it could end up being our route into the Champions League. So Mourinho's really going to have to juggle the two now. Hopefully Manchester United can do the business in Russia, maybe nick a score draw or something so that we can take it back to Old Trafford. But really we need to win that game so that the game at Old Trafford is a lot easier. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on the situation. Are we just too reliant on Zlatan Ibrahimovic? And I think this summer we're going to really have to sign at least one forward player, because we can't rely on Zlatan for the whole of next season. Hopefully it is Griezmann or Harry Kane, because them two are banging in goals for fun again this season. Griezmann has gone and got himself, at the moment, 20 goals for the 4th consecutive season. And Harry Kane is absolutely banging in goals left, right and centre at the moment. So for me, one of them two at least has to come in next season to take that goal burden off Zlatan Ibrahimovic, if Zlatan does definitely stay for another season. If he doesn't, we may need to dip into the transfer market and bring 2 attacking players in, because to get back to where we were in 2008, we had 4 great striking options. Well, in 2009 we had Dimitar Berbatov added to that attack of Rooney, Ronaldo and Tevez, and that was absolutely frightening for opposition. And at this moment in time we don't quite have that. Yes, we have Martial and Rashford, who are 2 great young prospects, but Wayne Rooney will be out the door in the summer, I believe, and it leaves you a bit thin up front in attack. So we're going to have to sort something out in the summer. Hopefully we can just scrape through that till the end of the season, get at least one more trophy on board and finish in that top 4, and that for me would be an excellent season, considering what we've had to go through with the striking options at the moment. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on the situation. Are we too reliant on Zlatan Ibrahimovic? Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll talk to you all again soon. See ya.